Good evening, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Let's do something for warming up ourselves. I see that only 2% are on cameras, so how can see others? Because it's an exercise that I have to see that what you are doing. Okay, three people can only wants to warm up themselves. Okay, with three people, you have to listen me carefully and do whatever I am saying. Don't see me that what I am doing. Suppose I say that raise your hands, right hands up. So you have to listen to me that I have said right hands to raise up. Okay, let's start. Raise your left hands up. Touch your nose. Hair, cheek, slow. You're doing slowly. Okay. Touch your tummy, shoulders. Okay. A warm welcome to meeting number 77 of the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club. I am Sunil Gupta, your Sergeant Arms for the meeting. As the Sergeant Arms of the meeting, I want to maintain decorum in the meeting. So I have some guidelines, some key points for you. The meeting is scheduled for a duration of 2 hours. And I urge all of you to stay for the entire duration to get maximum benefit out of it. Please keep your videos on and audios off until you need to speak or you are called to speak. Regarding the topics of sex, religion, and politics, even though Toastmasters International doesn't put any restriction on speaking on these topics, at the Gabbys Toastmasters Club, we always request all the speakers and role takers to be mindful and responsible and abstain from expressing any controversial views on these sensitive topics. Our mission is to provide a positive and supportive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With these key points, let me now call upon the presiding officer of the meeting. The presiding officer is a post prevention of sexual harassment and POXO, protection of children from sexual offenses, trainer who helps build inclusive workplace. She is also a communication and workplace skills coach. Professionally, she is a CBSE English faculty who has so far helped more than 2,000 students as the board examinations. As far as I am concerned, I know about her that, and I have learned a lot from her. And the learning I always like the most. It is also about leadership skills. She understands and acknowledges the limits of her knowledge and is always open to learning from others and changing her mind if necessary. So put your hands together to welcome the presiding officer, Toastmaster Jaspreet Kaur with a huge round of applause. Over to you, Jaspreet.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sunil, Sergeant at Arms for the day. Thank you for that great introduction, and thank you once again for doing it again. Because Toastmaster Sunil pulls up activities, games, anecdotes to start the meeting so that everybody is there into the meeting. And thanks a lot for setting the tone, keeping the punctuality on. So a big round of applause for Toastmaster Sunil for doing that week after week, every meeting. Thank you so much, Sunil, for doing that for us. Now, with this, I declare meeting number 77 of the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club to order. We have a lot of guests in the room today. And before we start the meeting, I would like the guests to tell us something about themselves in a quick 30 seconds. So the gentleman who's there with the camera on, Kalpesh, do tell us about yourself. Are you a Toastmaster, a guest? Where are you from? Anything about you?
Hi, thank you, Jaspreet. I'm a coach and I'm not a Toastmaster. I work with Rupinder in the ICF chapter Pune and got to know about this from LinkedIn. So that's where, out of curiosity, I'm here to listen and learn.
So yes, thank you so very much for being there with us. I hope you go back enriched and after having got a lot of, takeaways from the meeting. Thank you for being there with us.
Thank you.
Yes, Pooja Yaduvir. She was the first one to join today. Pooja, something about yourself.
Thank you so much, Jaspreet. I am Pooja Yaduvir, been an educationist since last 22 years and trainer as well. I have not been a part of Toastmaster, but have been following it for a very long time because I am a public speaker as well. So it is always a great opportunity to listen to people share their ideas and views. Yes, I'm also kind of team Rupinder. So that's how we joined. I wanted to really kind of listen to the views that she has today about the topic because the topic itself was very intriguing for me. So that's the reason I'm here, and I really look forward to next wonderful session. Thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you so much, Pooja. Thanks for being there with us. And I hope you will also enjoy the meeting till the end. And we have Garvita Shekhawat. Garvita, quick 30 seconds introduction, please.
Hi, hi. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes, perfectly.
Yes, hi, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, we are like we have heard a lot about Rupinder ma'am before, and like we are joining her first time. We are part of a team of Rupinder ma'am, and we got opportunity this time to join her. So yes, so we are attending it first time. Rest we'll get to know further in this.
All right, great to have Major Rupinder and Team Major Rupinder with us. So in the better interest of time, I'll stop this right now over here. I would request all the guests to please write about themselves in the chat box so that we come to know about you and we remain connected. And I would like the XCOM team, somebody from there to put the link for the guest group, Gabby's guest group, so that we can remain connected. And do stay till the end because again, towards the end, I'll connect with you. So the ones who I was not able to talk to right now, I'll talk to you, and the others who've spoken, do give us a feedback before leaving the meeting. So with this, let's move ahead. Now, since we have so many guests in the meeting today, so I would like to speak a bit about Toastmasters. So this is a platform that was made, that was created by Dr. Ralph C. Smedley in the year 1924 without realizing it would grow so much and would grow so far and wide. So it was created in 1924 to enable public speaking to people and also to give them leadership skills. And today, I guess we have more than 350,000 clubs, Toastmaster clubs, and more than 140, huge network it is across 140 countries. It is there. And we, Gabbies, are, yes, a part of that entire movement, I can say, because last year, Toastmasters celebrated its 100th year in the year 2024. So that was a great, great celebration for all of us. Now, we at the Gabbies are a family one family, three clubs. As I generally say, like a typical Indian joint family. So we are one family, three clubs connected at the root, but then spreading our branches and wings and everything far and wide. So we have three clubs, hence we meet thrice a week. Because we are three clubs, we get the chance to experiment a lot. We meet on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So, Tuesdays, we have prepared speeches. Prepared speeches which are evaluated. Every speaker is evaluated by two evaluators. Normally, it is one. So, here they get a double evaluation. So, that is again really very grilling, but very it's a wonderful learning experience for the speakers. On Thursday meetings, the way we are here today, we have an educational session followed by the table topic marathon. Again, where the guests can participate, I would encourage all the guests to at least ensure they get one table topic today to be able to speak on. And we meet on Saturdays as well. And the Saturday meeting is like a regular Toastmasters meeting where we have prepared speeches, we have table topics, we have evaluations. But wait, we have something more. We have a joke master also over there. So these are the three Gabbys meetings that happen in the entire week. Now the guest must be seeing that what kind of a Toastmasters club is this with this background all around. So now the next thing is that Gabbys is coming up with its special day, Gabby's Day, its birthday, which is being celebrated on 14th June. Hence, all this thing happening at the background to make you understand what all is happening within the club. So the things have been chalked out, I would say the activities are cooking up, steaming up, ready to be relished by each one of us. So I would encourage all of you to be a part of that. So if you become a part of the guest group, you'll get all the updates. Don't miss the fun. It will be a great day, which I'm sure we will remember for till the next year, rather for the entire year, because next year again, something would happen on the same day. So with this, let's get going with the meeting today. Now, as I said, today's meeting is a special one. We have a guest over here with us, a guest speaker, that is Dr. Major Rupinder Kaur. She'll be talking about humble leadership, which the Toastmaster of the day would be explaining to, will be telling us more about, and will be introducing the speaker. But just for the others, what she's doing is again something which is a part of Toastmasters, public speaking and leadership and humble leadership. So that is what she's going to talk to us all about. So it becomes absolutely a very meaningful kind of a session for us. So for this, I would like to call upon our Toastmaster of the day, that is Toastmaster Prasang Mani, who will go ahead with his theme called as A Day Without Technology. So I don't know if it is a day without technology, how would we be meeting here? Let's see how he experiments his theme. So a little about Toastmaster Prasang. All right. So he is an engineer from NIT Allahabad who is now a passionate Toastmaster. We see him taking a role every meeting, something or the other. He also loves reading Russian novels and playing badminton and chess. He joined the Gabbys to become a confident public speaker so that he can share his knowledge with everyone. So glad to have you in the Gabbys, Toastmaster Prasang. Over to you. Take the meeting further ahead from here.
Thank you, Presiding Officer Jaspreet Kaur. Let's give a round of applause to our Presiding Officer Jaspreet Kaur for doing her role. Uh, yeah. So, good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guest. I will be your Toastmaster of the day. Today, we are going to explore a theme that may feel scary for some, but peaceful for others. A day without technology. Just imagine no phones, no laptops, no internets, no Netflix. A day where you don't scroll, swipe, or type. Just live in moment. Let's be honest. For many of us, technology has become like air. Especially for me, I can't live without ChatGPT. I can't walk. We can't imagine, and I can't imagine my day without it. But sometimes taking a break from a screen can help us reconnect with people, nature, and ourselves. So let me ask you a question. How many of you have tried spending one full day without using any technology? No phone, no laptop, no even TV. Can I have a raise of hand? I can see Aparna. I can see Kalpesh. Oh, some people are trying. I haven't tried. Sometime I just touch my phones and then I realize, oh, why I just opened it. That happened with me. So there are people who are trying to live the life without technology, live the day. So we'll kind of talk more about this later in the meeting. While you go through the meeting, I will give you a question. You just think about it. So what do we do if we live one day without any screen or gadget? So just keep thinking about meeting while we go through the first section of the meeting. So before I move to the first section of the meeting, I would like to introduce the structure of the meeting. So a regular Toastmaster meeting has three sections: a prepared speech section, then table topic section, followed by evaluation. But today meeting is a special meeting. So we have only two sections. First, we will have an education session, and then we will have a table topic session plus the table topic evaluation also. So each table topic speakers will be evaluated by our table topic evaluator. Moving ahead in the meeting, I would like to introduce the timer of today meeting. So for the today timer, we have the Toastmaster Yogita Upadhyay. Introducing Toastmaster Yogita is a go with the flow and a joyful person. She is always been a people person, so enjoying her phase as an HR and image and soft skill trainers. Beyond the 9 to 5%, you will find her dancing, reading mind mind bending books, exploring new places, or experimenting with different foods. So I would like to invite Toastmaster Yogita to introduce her role as timer.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing super well. And this is your timer for the day, Toastmaster Yogita. I would be timing all the three segments. The first segment is the educational section, which will be timed as 30 minutes green card. I'll show the cards also for your reference so that the speaker has clarity about that. So I'll show the green card when it will be 30 minutes. I'll show the yellow card when it will be 35 minutes. And I'll show the red card when it will be 40 minutes. Moving ahead, in the next segment, there will be table topics. So, table topic segment is around 1 to 2.5 minutes. So when there will be 1 minute, I'll show the green card. 1.5, it would be the yellow card. And 2 minutes, I'll show the red card. 30 seconds grace is given, but I would advise everyone who's attempting the table topic to please wind up as soon as you see the yellow card. And then for the evaluations, it depends upon the table topic speakers. The more number of speakers will we have, the time would be divided as per that. Mostly for just the reference, it would be 30 seconds per speaker. Meanwhile, you all enjoy meeting. Timing is most crucial, but we should not forget that we are here to enjoy the moment. Keep enjoying, keep learning. See you all at the last segment. Bye, take care.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yogita, for introducing your role. Moving ahead in the meeting, I would like to introduce our today education session speaker, Dr. Major Rupinder Kaur, who is going to teach us about the humble leadership. Today education session is led by Dr. Major Rupinder Kaur, a leadership coach, inclusion advocate, and military veteran with over 22 years of experience. She has coached more than 400 senior leaders across global firms like Accenture, EY, Deloitte, and KPMG, and has facilitated over 10,000 hours of leadership workshops across industries. Dr. Kaur is also a global speaker and an active voice in forums like the UNSDG 5, FICCI, and the Climate Coaching Alliance. Her work focuses on driving transformation through executive coaching, systematic change, and building inclusive culture. Please join me in welcoming the remarkable Dr. Major Rupinder Kaur.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prasang, right? And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jaspreet, for setting this up and giving me this opportunity to speak in front of a very elite group. And also the opportunity to interact with my lovely friends and my team in this virtual forum. Thank you, Kalpesh, for being here. Very, very kind of you, and somebody who embodies humility in its very essence. Lovely to hear Sunil for getting everyone up and running, with his activities. So amazing, amazing to be here. Let me start by asking you a quick question because it seems show of hands is the flavor of the day. The show of hands for all those people who have somewhere, sometime heard, you need to be more confident in your career. Show of hands, have you heard from your manager, your supervisor, your family anytime? You need to be more confident in your career. Yeah, I can't see the others who are not on camera. Is there any way that we can nudge you to be on camera? It's a very small group. It's a very intimate gathering. And to talk to thumbnail is really very disappointing in some way or the other. Thank you. Thank you for obliging. Very kind of you. Okay, so I've heard almost 50% of the people I've seen saying that we have been told you need to be more confident in your career. Okay, now there is a subsequent question to it. How many of you have ever been told that you need to be more humble? Show of hands for that too. How many of you have been told that you need to be more humble and grounded? Okay. It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. In a world obsessed with standing out, actually, if you ask me, humility is the secret sauce that no one talks about. But I'm happy that some of you have been told that. But today we'll talk at least for 40 minutes about it. And as the Toastmasters have set the tone and shared the time duration for it, here is what I would humbly like to take your permission in. I will continue sharing a perspective, of frameworks, couple of stories from mythology and from the corporate world that I've been a part of, and then open it up for questions. Is that a fair flow to the session? Does that work? Okay. Okay, then let me start by telling you about Alan Mulally. He was a former CEO of Ford and a very, very successful one. When he took over, the company was losing $17 billion per year, and that's a huge amount by all means. And at his first leadership meeting, everyone said that their departments are fine. And everyone said that despite knowing that they're losing $17 billion. That's quite amazing, isn't it? Except one leader. He admitted that his division was failing. What did Alan do? What do you think he would have done when somebody admits that I'm failing? Quite counterintuitively, he applauded. And that applause changed the future of Ford forever and the culture of Ford. Why? Because the leader had the humility to say, I need help. And that was the turning point. Not bravado, but honesty. Not ego, but humility. We live in a bunny world. I'm sure you've heard of this term. Brittle, anxious, non-linear, incomprehensible. Something that has evolved from a VUCA world. And that has been the buzzword for quite some time. Yeah. And believe you me, even the brittle, anxious, nonlinear, and incomprehensible does not limit itself, wherein the management thinkers have found a new acronym, which I'll introduce you to, which is called the FLEX. But what do brittle systems lack? Flexibility. And what gives leaders flexibility? Humility. right? But this isn't a session about being nice. It's about being humble. It's about how humility makes you sharper, more trusted, and ironically, more powerful. And it may seem counterintuitive at this point in time because power is aggression. Power is telling rather than asking. Power is that I have the authority. And what I'm saying is that actually being humble gives you more power. We look at stories from mythology, from leaders in boardrooms, and tips that you can probably apply tomorrow. So let's start. Let's start. And let me share my deck with you. I have a couple of slides, not too many though, but to drive home some points and for you to take back home some takeaways. Feel free to challenge me wherever you think don't agree, and feel free to ask me a question if something is really, really very sharply coming at you. I have curated this idea of humble leadership through my own experiences of leading in the armed forces and being a part of the corporate world, through a lot of readings that I do, because there's only one life, right? And you don't have enough time to learn it all. So why not borrow from people who've been there, done that, and learned through very hard ways? So from people like Edgar Sheen, who's been the greatest management thinker, he talks about humble leadership humongously. But more importantly, from drawing from our scriptures. Yeah? So let's see, what do I have in store for you? In the world that you are a part of, just give me a sense, how many of you work in the corporate world? Show of hands. You have a job, a full-time job, which you're a part of. Okay. How many of you have your own space? I mean, you work for yourself. You don't really report to anybody. In whatever way and form that you're working, you have something which is called task complexity, which is not going simpler, it's only going more difficult. And thus, while you have acquired knowledge over the years, in the world of ChatGPT and generational intelligence, that knowledge is really not enough. In fact, so much so that the knowledge can actually become a curse. And we will do some experiments in the session today to let you know how does that knowledge become curse. But more importantly, expertise is cheap. Whatever expert you've become is not going to serve you for the long term, because you type a question on ChatGPT and it gives you the world's best advice, curated from sources that you personally are not even aware of. And thus, hindsight, which means what you've learned in the past, can definitely not serve you in the future. And being humble allows you to stay in the present so that you don't over-index your expertise and consider expertise as power. But more importantly, let's look at this. I promised you that Goka is where we come from, Bani is where we were, but Flex is where we will need to be in order to not only progress in the future professionally, but also grow personal spheres and relationships. So what is it that I'm here for? I will give you a couple of thoughts around what is humility and what it is not. Maybe share a little bit of practical skills on what can make you more humble, provided you agree that humility is important. And we can choose to agree to disagree, right, with respect. Maybe some of you have experiences where you thought power is more important, where you thought authority is more important, or where you've experienced that telling works faster than asking. And it's possible, right? But let's see, what do we have here? I'm going to skip some of this introduction bit here for the paucity of time. But I do want to share with all of you that the fact that I start my career with the Indian Army gave me a beautiful blend of adorning moral courage, which means saying it as it is without mincing words, yet not being rude, but always being humble enough to acknowledge that, you know, the best laid plans fail at the first contact of the enemy. So whatever plans you make in the forces, at the battlefield, I can promise you with experience that nothing works really. And what works is a sense of humility to say, oh, this is what I might not have thought about. And if this is what the enemy may think about, how can I think differently? Yeah? Let me start with a quick video here with this question. Very, very simple question. When I play this video, what I want you to share with me after the video is the answer to this question. How many times the people in the white dress pass the ball? Okay. Are you ready? Okay, let me see. How many passes did you count? Give me a numeric in the chat.
I have count 3.
Okay. 3. Okay. What responses do we have in the chat? Wait. Let me just go back to the chat quickly and see what responses are we getting. Okay, 5, 6, 6, 18, 5. What about the others? I've got 6 responses. Okay, let's go back to the video and see how many times did they pass. How many of you saw the gorilla? Okay, Pooja saw. How many of you saw the gorilla? Did you see a gorilla in the room? Jaspreet, I'm just curious. Do people most often close their cameras?
Yeah, that does happen because probably somebody is traveling back home and things like that. So that's
Okay, fair, fair, fair. Raise your hand if you saw the gorilla. Pooja saw a dancing one as well. Okay, that's interesting. But tell me, at least in the chat, if you're not speaking up, that's okay. How many of you saw the gorilla? Pooja is saying a yes. How about the others? Did you see a gorilla?
No, completely missed it.
Okay, Kalpesh completely missed it. How about the others? All
I
eyes
might
were
have seen, but I don't know that it was gorilla or something.
it was gorilla or something else. Okay, okay. But you saw somebody else who was not appearing as a human, correct?
Yes,
White one,
yes.
the focus. So, this test is actually a test which is called the selective attention test. And it is not a test that I have designed. It is a test designed by the Stanford University. And it has been run hundreds and hundreds of times in workshops like this. And the central tenet has always been that apart from 1 or 2 people, people have not been able to identify the gorilla that happens in the test. You know why that happens? Why does that happen? Why does that happen?
because the mind is
Because we
obsessed
were
with something.
right, we were more focused on the white person. So
Yeah,
kitna wo catch karna hai.
Yeah. One of
yeah.
the
We were focused more on the localized thing, not on the global picture, right? We are focused on the smaller picture.
Because we see only what we are asked to, or whatever is instructed us to do.
Selective attention.
Yeah. Imagine how powerful that is. And what implications does it have for us as leaders when we are only programmed to see a certain thing a certain way? When we know of leading only in a certain way, the way we had learned it from the leaders. When we think we are subject matter experts and nobody knows it better than we do. Yeah. I just want to leave you with that thought without anything else. And let me test a little bit more of your intellectual prowess. Is there anybody in the room who doesn't think he or she's intelligent? No, I assume so. We all are intelligent people, right? So here is the first test of your. Okay, Manoj thinks he's not intelligent. Manoj, I'll come back to you later. Thank you for that honest confession. But here is the first problem for you to solve for all of us who are intelligent people in the room. A bat and a ball cost $1.10. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. And how much does the ball cost? Okay, Pooja, if you know the answer, you just need to keep your mouth shut for at least the first 60 seconds. And if you don't know, that's excellent. Then you solve it like everyone else in the room.
1.10 cents. Dollar.
That is the bat and ball cost, right? What is the ball's cost?
I think that is
10
a ball
cents.
cost.
10 cents?
10 cents.
Okay. How many of you said 10 cents?
0.05 cents.
Who's the ugly duckling in the room who's saying 0.05 cent? On the lighter
Prasang.
note. Huh?
It's Prasang.
Can we see you on camera, please?
He's there, the TMOD.
I am the
TMOD
camera.
son.
I can't somehow see. Okay, maybe. Prasang, was that you?
Yeah, right.
Okay. How come you said 0.05 cent when the other said 10 cents?
Because I solved using formulas. So basically, if I assume that the ball price is X, so bat price would be X plus 1 equal to and then I sum the bat price plus ball price, that is equal to 1.10. So yeah, that's how I solved it.
Again, in a room full of very smart consultants, and I work with a lot of big fours, 9 out of 10 times people say 10 cents. Yeah. Why do you think that happens? I'm leaving you with that question. You don't need to answer it. What is the answer to the second question?
64.
See, you fell into the trap again. It could be 8 multiplied by 8, but it could also be 8x8. Yeah, something to that effect. The last one, birds of a feather. We've heard this proverb as we were
Flock
growing up.
together.
Everybody's in a backseat, flock together. It's the usual one, right? But it could be stay together, fly together, whatever. And it may not be together also, for that matter. Yeah. I'm leaving you with some of those thoughts. I'm not being conclusive here, but one point I'm definitely going to say here that humility is difficult to practice when we think we have all the answers. Okay, so you may want to take a step back and ask yourself this question the next time you're wanting to jump to conclusion and say, this is the way it is. Are you really being humble? And so in that construct, before I share with you my framework of being humble, what does being humble really mean? The dictionary meaning of humility is having a modest opinion of yourself and your achievements. So does that mean, is it a strength or is it a weakness? Is it a trait that we have as we are born, or is it a skill that we develop? And does humility sometime also in the corporate world and in the competitive world that we live in means it may come across as a weakness, accepting the fact that I'm wrong, I may not have all the answers. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm going to prove you with the next 5 stories that I have to share with you that it really is not that. The word humility comes from a Latin word called humilis, which actually means low, demure, down to earth, and thus not really being meek. If you look in the context of our religion, whether you're a Hindu, Sikh, Muslim, or a Christian, name any religion and you'll find humility as a virtue. Yeah. The Bhagavad Gita extols humility as the topmost of all virtues. If I'm a partial Hindu and a partial Sikh, right? And I go to temples and I go to huge temples, and I find that the best of the sculptures which have been designed maybe thousands of years back doesn't have a name, do they? And like time passes by, the names of those people have vanished into thin air. Krishna, in his discourse to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, says, ignorant work for profit and the wise work for the world. Now, in the world that we live in, which anyways, you need to have bread and butter, and the basics. I don't know how much of that holds true, but if you're only working for profit, maybe you want to think again. Every idol in the name of Hinduism has been sculpted with a deliberate flaw. Man, after all, cannot accurately represent God. If that is not humility, what is? I've been reading about Christianity and the Muslim religion for some time now, because it doesn't come naturally to me to understand, right? Because I'm a Sikh, so that comes by birth, and Hinduism comes by the way of marriage because my husband is Hindu. So I was really trying to understand Christianity, wherein I read a quote by Saint Augustine, who's been one of the most revered religious teachers for Christians, and he says, if you were to ask me, he says, and I quote, however often you repeat and ask me these questions about what is the most profound teaching of Christianity, I would always say humility. Yeah? And there is enough and more of academic research which extols humility as a virtue of leadership in organizations. One of those research studies, if some of you are interested, people don't like math. Sorry, I didn't see the comments in the chat, and that's interesting what you say. So was a research paper, which says modeling to grow, an inductive experiment of humble leaders. And they studied 55 leaders from a variety of contexts, and they made a compelling argument about level 5 leaders. Jim Collins, in his book Good to Great, says level 5 leaders, which is a topmost layer of leadership, combines personal humility and intense professional will. Yeah. So let's hear, if that be the case, and if humility is so central, not only to leadership, but who we are as human beings, is there a way we can practice humility? But before I get there, let me ask you this question. You can type it in the chat. I'm happy to move forward. On a scale of 1 on 10, how humble do you think you are? 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. And by the way, Kalpesh, who's typed a 6 right up there at the first point, I have personally experienced his humble stance. And if I were to rate him, I would probably give him an 8 or a 9. So thank you for sharing what you think, where you lie. And wherever you lie, it's really possible for all of us to practice humility. And there is an opportunity, believe you me, for all of us to be more humble in day-to-day life, because humility is not only important for getting career success, to getting some of the answers that you not know, but it also very, very important and secret source of building lifelong relationships, whether in the family or outside the family. So here is a quick framework that I'm going to introduce you to be more humble starting from tomorrow. Yeah. How much time do we have? I'm not sure if I haven't heard from the timer, so just want to be mindful of the time that we have. Sorry, can't hear you, Jaspreet, if you're speaking.
We are at 25 minutes, Rupinder, since you
She
started.
hasn't shown the green card as yet. That means you've not touched 30.
Which means another 5, 10, 15. Thank you
10 minutes.
for that. Okay, so here is a quick one that when I was thinking about humility as a construct and as a trait and as a skill, a little stickier, easy to remember, and something that can be practiced every day. H for hear to understand, U for unlearn to learn, M for mirroring your intentions, B for building with and not over, L for letting go of ego, and E, evolve through feedback. Now, while I want you to make a mental note of it, these are by no means prescriptive. Are these important? The answer is yes. Will they come overnight? The answer is no. But if I start today, there is an opportunity for me to start working on it tomorrow. Let me start with the first one. Here to understand. Yeah. There's a reason why God has given us 2 ears and only 1 tongue. Yeah. But the interesting part in the difference between hearing and understanding is that hearing does not naturally lead to understanding. And let me give you again another Stanford experiment here. I'm a researcher, so like it or not, you will end up listening to a lot of literature and research. It's a story of tappers and listeners. And the story and the research goes like that. In a Stanford experiment where they were trying to understand why is it so difficult for people to be humble and to hear and listen well, they divided an entire class of Stanfords into 2 groups, the tappers and the listeners, right? And what did they do? What the instructions they gave them was that they kept the listeners inside the room and they took the tappers outside. And the only instruction that they gave to the tappers was, think of a tune which is very common, which is very, very here and now of a song, and use your hands to tap that tune in the room. And the listener's job was to guess what song's tune is that. Yeah, very, very simple. Very, very simple. And imagine the tappers chose the easiest song, jingle bells, jingle all the way. I mean, can anybody really miss that tune? Yeah, it's so common, it's so here and now, it's so heard about. And so obviously they thought that the listeners will guess it in the first go. The tappers moved back to the classroom and they started playing. 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes. The listeners just could not guess it. Yeah. And then the tappers are getting frustrated. This is such a common thing. Why can't you guess it? This is so obvious, right? But even after a couple of minutes, and they did this experiment with good about 1,000 plus students in different classrooms, at the end of the experiments, only 5% of people could guess the tune. What came in the way? And I've done this experiment really in real life classrooms, and believe you me, the ratio has always been the same. Not more than 2 to 3 people can actually guess the tune of the most common song that is playing in the tapper's head, but the listeners are not able to identify. This is called the curse of knowledge. So when you know something, it is almost impossible to imagine what it's like not to know it. So from the perspective of the listeners, the tappers, it is so obvious, right? How can the listeners not know it? But the listeners have no idea what is going in the tapper's mind. Yeah, that is where humility will help you. Hear to understand and not hear to reply. Okay, let's look at the second one. Unlearn to learn. Be aware of your own biases or frames of references. I'll come to it to learn. We all have heard of this dictum, learn, unlearn, relearn. As not as simple as that. And I'll show you a quick video to prove that quick point, right? How it is so difficult So difficult to learn. Let me just pull out. I hear the hand raise. So does that mean we are at 30 minutes? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see one of my favorite people who is a researcher, who's an experiment, and who's also an engineer. What does he have to say about what can we learn about unlearning by riding a bicycle? Okay, let me know if you can hear this. Everything changed.
It's not audible.
Rupinder, there is a lot of buffering of the video and audio, I think, for the audience.
Okay, does that mean you're not able to hear it properly, or is it playing slow?
It's pixelated, it's buffering, and the audio is skipping.
Oh, is it this is let me just quickly check. Is it like that for everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
it's the
as
same.
it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me share the link a little later.
Yes.
Maybe. And the point that he's trying to prove here is very, very simple. You know, he started with a bike which had handles. If you turned it to the right, the handle turned left. And if you turn to the left, the handle turned right. And it took him about 8 months to learn how to ride that bike, which we think is way too easy, right? Didn't happen for him. And then once he learned to ride the difficult bike, the experiment went on to say how then he went back to learn the original bike, which was the normal bike. It took him another couple of hours to go back. So knowledge is not equal to understanding, and unlearning, as we might say, is very, very, very difficult. Okay. So that's the second one. The third one quickly here is letting go of your ego. It's a subject that I talk about like for 100 years, but just a quick story. And the story goes like this. There was a battleship, which you see in the picture here. The battleship was going in the sea when suddenly one of the soldiers at the top spotted a light, and he informed the captain. The captain said, send a signal to that light, change course 20 degrees. And the moment the signal is sent, a signal comes back from that light, you change course 20 degrees. Now the captain is annoyed. He's angry. He's a captain of a battleship. How can somebody respond to him back? right? And he gets annoyed and he says, I'm a battleship. You change course, gaining into his authority. And back comes the signal from the light saying, I'm a lighthouse. Your call. Yeah. Sometimes we don't end up realizing that we are leaning too much into authority to miss the obvious cues, or we don't take a pause to ask the right questions. But here is the third one, and actually the fourth one. Yogita, are we at 35 minutes? Do I have the last 5 minutes?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So we've talked about H. We've talked about U, which is unlearn to learn, here to understand. And we've talked about L, which has come before and to come first, which is mirror your intentions. L with come, let coffee go. So let's play a quick game here. Can I ask you to draw 6 boxes on a piece of paper if you have in front of you? Go ahead, play along with me. 6 boxes. Yeah, and it's a game of speed and not skill. What I'm going to ask you is really to draw one object in one box. Okay, as simple as that. Ready? So the first object, and you get 3 seconds to draw it. Be mindful of the time. The first object is a flower vase. And when I say stop, you stop. Stop. The second object is a coffee mug. Stop. Now we've got back to grade 5, to our drawing classes. So all got the hang of drawing. Let's make the game a little difficult. I'll give you 2 seconds for the next 2 objects. Okay. The third object is a mobile phone. Stop. The fourth object is a book. Stop. अभी तो बहुत अच्छे से आ गया है ना? We've gone back, now we've got hang, we are all become great artists and Picassos. So let's make the game toughest. 1 second for the last 2 objects. Ready? Fifth object is a pair of spectacles. Stop. And the last object is a tree. Stop. Okay, now do me a favor, take a screenshot of your lovely paintings and share it in the chat. Now the smiles are getting widened, right? Aren't they? Let's see what sort of a great artist you are. Come on quickly. See, whatever time you are taking for sharing it in the chat is what I am going to ask extra from Jaspreet, okay? So be as fast as you can with your sharings. Ready? Okay. I see only one screenshot. Yeah, I'll take maybe 3 to 4 minutes extra, Yogita. I see your hand raised. Thank you for that. I don't see screenshots. Okay, I see Garvita's screenshot. Excellent, Garvita. Good job. What about the others? What about the others? Let's see quickly. As you type in your chat boxes, go ahead, share with me in the chat. What I'm also going to do as you share it in the chat is to take you through the last 2 words of the humble framework. We spoke about ego, HUMBL, and we're going to talk about build with not over, which is co-creation over command. My slides seem to be a little muddled up, so I'll be humble enough to admit that we need to change the sequence of slides here. We've talked about here to understand, we've talked about unlearn to learn, we've talked about mirror your intentions, and I'll speak to you what does intention mean. And I'm going to talk about build with and not over. But let me see some of the screenshots that are emerging in the chat box for us. Okay, I don't see any other screenshots. Is it Sunil's screenshot? Yes. What about the rest? Okay, where are the rest drawings? Kalpesh's, I see that. Okay, Kalpesh. I'm and as I'm looking at the screenshots, can I also invite you to look at your own screenshots? Kalpesh, I can't see your drawings right. They really seem to me one and the same. Am I missing something? Yeah, now I can see the small ones. Right. Okay, fair. Thank you. And as you see everyone else's drawings, I want to draw your attention to the tree, whatever tree everyone has drawn. Is there anything missing in the tree? Look at yours and look at others' trees. Even if you've not shared the screenshot, look at your tree in the notebook. What you will find is that most of you haven't drawn the roots. Why do you think the roots are not there? Leaving it to you to decide, Garvit. I'll come to you. I know I'm eating up on time. So keeping the time in mind, the roots are not there because oftentimes you don't see the roots apart from some large banyan trees, right? It's invisible. Since childhood, you've not been taught to draw roots. Whenever we draw tree, we hardly draw roots, do we? And what is visible is the behavior of human beings. What is not visible is the intent. And if you come from the standpoint of humility, you will always find that people come with the right intent. But as human beings, whenever we see bad behavior, we jump on to the conclusion that people have wrong intent. So make sure that your intention matches your behavior and you do not judge people based on behavior, you clarify intent. And the last question here, the last slide that I have with here, and I'll then stop, Jaspreet, I promise, is build with and not over. Yeah. All of us must have heard the story of Mahabharata. While we all build our houses, our bridges, our areas of success and failure, it's always a better build when you build with people and not over people. And the best example of that is, of course, Lord Ramayana, when he built a bridge, a strong bridge with the Vanar Sena and built a very, very strong bridge. But the story also goes like that the proud Arjuna, who was a warrior, yeah, who was known for his absolute and complete mastery over the skill of archery, when he looked at Ram Setu, which is this bridge, he was amazed that why did Lord Rama had to take the help of monkeys of Vanasena when he was supposed to be the greatest warrior? I could have just built it with my arrows, right? And Hanumanji, who was sitting close to when this discourse was going in Arjuna's head, he was listening to this, and he said, and he walked up to Arjuna and he said, "You probably cannot do that." And Arjuna challenged him from a place of pride, said, "Of course I can do that. I'm the greatest warrior in history. So, and if I can't do that, then I will burn myself in fire. I promise you that." So he challenged Hanumanji. Hanumanji said, "Go ahead, do that." And Arjuna, with his one arrow, built a whole bridge, right, on Ram Setu. And what does Hanuman do next? He walks up to the bridge and he just puts his tail on the bridge and the entire bridge collapses. Now Arjuna is very distorted because he's promised he will put himself in a pyre of fire. He's ready to go ahead and do that immediately. Till suddenly Lord Brahma appears, taking the avatar of Krishna. And Lord Brahma says that, wait, Arjuna, you can't burn yourself in fire, because, see, when a deal is made, there needs to be a witness. And in your case, there was no witness. So I am the witness now. Do that again. And Hanumanji was very sure that the bridge will again get burst, because Arjuna has challenged Rama's might. So Arjuna again throws a spade of arrows. The bridge is built again. And now Hanumanji puts his tail and nothing happens. Now Hanumanji, being Hanumanji, he puts his entire weight on that bridge and nothing happens. And now Hanumanji gets a little disconcerted, and suddenly he realizes his own folly. In the spirit of his own devotion to Rama, he also had adorned pride, that the devotion himself could lead him to not to be humble. And he didn't realize what is happening when suddenly Lord himself appeared and his shoulder is totally bruised. And he says, while you did what you did, Hanuman, your entire weight, your entire might was not easy for me to handle. As you were sitting on the bridge, I was standing under the bridge to hold your might. What a powerful, powerful lesson, right? To operate from a place of humility and not pride. I'm going to wind up this discussion with a little bit of these 4 things, that as you go ahead and become more humble leaders, remember, don't adopt a tunnel vision on expertise. Do not project overconfidence and accuracy. Do not devalue emotional cues that you may experience from people, as we saw it in that battleship. Don't assume others see what you see. People are different, and operate from that space. And don't misjudge people's intent or ignore feedback. I'll take a pause here, and I'm extremely apologetic of extending, I think, about 6 minutes on the calendar. But I had to leave some of those messages. If I can make it up in some way to you and the team, Jaspreet, I'll be happy to. But thank you once again.
Thanks. Now the floor is open for a question. So if anybody has a question, you can come forward. You have the opportunity to directly ask the question. Anyone? So basically, I have a question. So basically, I learned about the humanity today, and I also know about the low self-esteem. So what is the difference between the low self-esteem and humility?
What a wonderful question. Does that in your mind, Prasang, humility, are you equating humility with low self-esteem?
Because I saw like the definition of humility where it is more about like accepting that you are not better than others. So from that perspective, I see there's a confusion between the low self-esteem and the humility.
Lovely. Thank you, Prasang. Let me try and answer that question, from a narrative standpoint and also from an example story standpoint. So humility does not mean you're superior. Humility does not mean you're inferior. Okay, humility does not mean you're a doormat and anybody and everybody can come and walk over you. Yeah. Humility simply means that I accept the fact that I have done everything that I could do in my power, but I'm open to hearing more if there's something that I have missed out. I come from a place of knowledge and understanding, but I'm open to say I may not have enough knowledge. You may have something more. Humility means to say, I have a point of view and I'll express it, but I'll not trash your point of view. I'm open to listening to your point of view. So to my mind, low self-esteem is an extreme polar opposite of humility, if you ask me. Yeah. Overconfidence is an extreme extreme of humility. But humility means being present, being now, and the operational skills for humility are 2: listening, yeah, and assertiveness. People with low self-esteem may not be able to assert themselves in the way that is required.
Thanks. Anybody else have a question?
Rupinder, yeah, being humble, and it is being humble, showing humility is a positive thing. I know, but don't you think that when you become humble, you lose respect, whether you are in office or in your family or in the society? I have seen that in my office, at my workplace, that if we are humble, we lose respect, with our co-workers, subordinates. They give up respecting me and who is humble. That's
I do not agree with that, Sunil, because of two reasons. The way it depends on how you are choosing to practice humility. As I said earlier, being humble does not mean you are a doormat. Anybody and everybody can walk over you, and whatever other people are saying is right. Humble means accepting the fact that I have a point of view, but I'm open to listening your point of view. But if I disagree with your point of view, I will say it in a polite, in a very endearing way, and also still open to listening. What is the reason for disagreement? Yeah. I will agree to disagree, but with respect. Humility does not mean I will agree with you all the time. You with me till now, Sunil? See, and there is a point, and I'm not disregarding what you're saying. We have built a culture around us which rewards arrogance, which rewards overconfidence, which rewards extroversion, right? We've built a culture, all of us together. Yeah. But I think it's time we challenge that culture, isn't it? Introverts, humble, grounded people bring way more power and strength and perspective than people who are always speaking like me do. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one question, Dr. Upadhyay.
Sure.
My question is it possible to measure the humble? Am I humbler than my friend, or I'm humbler than you? So how do we measure that? Is it possible to measure? Is there any scale for that?
That's a good question. So science is actually designed. The researchers have designed not one but many scales. One of the ones that I know, it has three pillars which defines and measures humility on three scales: intellectual arrogance, intellectual curiosity, and intellectual humility. In fact, I have a proprietary assessment of myself that I have designed, which I'm happy to share the link with you on where do you score in terms of intellectual humility. And I'm happy to share the link if you write to me or share a LinkedIn invite with me. You can take that test free of cost.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Upadhyay.
You're most welcome.
Yeah, thanks for all the questions, and thank you for the session. And I mean, from this session I learned a lot. It's basically, I started with the activity, and then I learned about the kind of, we take the decision based on our previous experience and previous knowledge, which is sometimes dangerous, right? And I especially echo with the one of the concept, like unlearn to learn, right? It's very difficult. I That coming from my personal experience, I had learned something in my childhood, was trying to unlearn, but it was difficult to do that. But over the time, yeah, it definitely changes. So again, thanks for the wonderful session. We all learned a lot, and continue giving such session to us, yeah, such knowledge to us.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thanks. And with this, we would like to take a break of 2 minutes, and then we'll come back with a session of table topic season. To- Okay, can I have people on camera?
We can start, Prasang. Everyone is there.
Sure. Uh, so now starting we are going into the table topic session. Uh, here you don't need slides, script or search engines, just your thoughts and your voice. It is like spending a day without Google. You have to think for yourself. To guide us through this, please welcome our table topic master Rahul. Introducing Rahul, his current hobby is running and reading books, but he is also having fun being back to Toastmaster and picking up on roles and giving his speeches. Now the stage is yours, Toastmaster Rahul.
Thank you for that nice intro, Toastmaster Prasang. So, we are in the part of the meeting, which is the table topic, the most exciting one, where everyone over here is eager to hear your thoughts and your intentions. So, let me tell you what table topic session is. It is an impromptu section where I'll be giving you a topic and you get to speak on it for a minute, a minimum of a minute, and you can speak up to a total of 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So all the guests and members are allowed to participate in it. So before I start the session, I would like to have a raise of hands to see who would like to go first. Okay. Okay. So I can see Toastmaster Akib has raised hand. Okay. Toastmaster Akib. Topic for you is, this is year 2050. How would it look like? It is year 2050. How would it look like?
2050. Ladies and gentlemen, I just came attending a graduation ceremony of my son. This kid was born in 2025 and he just got his graduation done. He has done BTech again. I do not know what he wants to do. But yeah, that's what he wanted to do. But see how things have changed. It just took 15 minutes for us to fly from India to come US, attend, and all this Hyperloop stuff have made life way easier. You don't have to really spend 12 hours doing jet lag and everything to visit US from India. And in night, we are returning back to Mumbai, and that's also going to take very less time. While my son said, Dad, you don't have to come to US. You could have just done, you could have just attended with virtual, like there is this augmentation thing which is happening now. We didn't have it back then. Like people were attending meetings on Zoom, like these Toastmasters, they were attending meeting on Zooms. Now what we have is this virtual augmentation. I can be in the meeting. I can be in anywhere in the world, just like a replica. And it's like bubble of me standing there, and I'm able to feel what is happening. I'm able to see all the crowd cheering, all the stuff. So every concert, every such event, they have now demarcated the space. One for physical audience, the other one is for audio, virtual audience. So virtual audience also, they don't have proper seat, but they have a standing position. Everybody is standing, talking, and we can also mingle with physical guys. So I think, as you see, my hairs have grown. It was all black back then, but the way things have changed, the way we are seeing, like it has made life way easier. And I just wish that people who are my friend back in 2025, they are living now it as well, and they're seeing this dream which has become reality. That's my take. Over to you, Toastmaster Rahul.
Toastmaster Akib, you are one that we called as a visionary because you had such a good vision that what you described the entire plot about 2050 would look like. And you took it in such a positive way, regardless of how things are going and people are so scared of AI. So a big round of applause for Toastmaster Akib. So my next speaker would be Amruta. Amruta,
Yes.
are you ready? Okay.
Yes.
Your topic is, if you could spend a tech-free day anywhere, where would you go? If you could spend a tech-free day anywhere, where would you go?
How many of you heard about Vipassana? Just raise your hands. Vipassana is a meditation technique started by S.N. Goenka and where you can't take your phones. That's the best thing I can do because I did Vipassana thrice and I felt very, very good after that. And whenever I have to choose between tech free, I went to that center because you don't have to write, you don't have to read, you can talk to your family also. Sometimes it is good for your mental health to stay away from your family and then come back together and spend some time together. But for that, you have to detach. And nowadays, the most important thing we have to detach from our mobile phones. Because wherever you go, even in toilets as well, we can have our mobile. And it's kind of a scary because you are addicted to that. And if you want to detach, go and have a 10 days Vipassana session where you can't take your phones, when you can't read or write or anything, you can't speak to anyone else. That's the best gift you can do to yourself in today's era. And that's what I'm going to do. That's my take on this. Back to Rahul.
An interesting take. Why to go to a place and force yourself not to use your phone? I think this is something which all of us can follow, especially people who are addicted to our phones. Yeah, given us a very good suggestion. Thank you for the take, Amrita. Next, I would like to call upon, I can see Paul is on camera. Paul, would you like to take up a topic? Okay, Paul, you're good? Can we?
I would love to have a topic. Thank you very much.
Awesome. So your topic, how do you feel at the end of a tech-free day? Do you feel bored or happy? How would you feel at the end of a tech-free day? Happy or bored?
Hypothetical question. How would I feel? So I imagine that I would be in a strange place. I would be away from my kitchen where I am now. I would be away from a cafe. I would be maybe away from the city where I live. Perhaps I would be on the top of a mountain. And it would have been raining all day. And my tech-free day would be my phone in a waterproof case on my back. I would feel tired. I would feel miserable. I would feel exhausted because I am not used to climbing mountains. I would come down from the mountain feeling a mixture of being grumpy and having a humble sense of pride for my performance, for having got back safely. I would feel so keen to talk to the other people who have also survived going up the mountain, that I would talk with them until midnight. And the stroke of midnight, I would take my phone out and I would put a post on Deep Sky or Facebook maybe to say, I've done it. I've done a whole day. First time in 23 years, I have had a tech-free day. What do you think of that, Mr. Toastmaster?
What I think about it is that it is the exact vacation which I planned for myself. A day in the mountains where it is rainy, no phones, and I just get to enjoy the view. And also, since you're from Ireland, I'm guessing there's a lot of beautiful places that I would like to visit over there. Thank you for that very wonderful take, Toastmaster Paul. Now, let me go on to my next speaker. That would be Garvita. Garvita, would you like to take up the next topic? I'll give you an easy one. Nothing fancy, nothing tough. Garvita, if you're speaking, you're on mute. Would you like to take up a topic?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Your topic is, if you had no internet for 24 hours, what would you do? If you had no internet for 24 hours, what would you do?
If I will be not having internet for 24 hours, then definitely I'll just get up and I'll go for, workouts, which is actually, it is necessary. So I'll go for workout. I'll cook for myself. I'll read because reading is the best thing I can do. If I will be not having anything, then I'll be reading it. So like that, I will be sleeping. The sleep I will be covering. And yes, internet is not there, but yes, if I will be having some dish TV or something, I'll watch the TV. That's what simply I'll be doing. But yes, at the end, I'll be relaxed. That I can assure. That I'm assured of.
Okay. So your idea of this is like just reading. You would like to read for the entire day. There's no tech. Is that correct, Gavita? Okay. It's definitely a wonderful idea. And books are always a good source of, I find it's a very good source where you can like pass time at the same time you enjoy, because it's almost like you have a person next to you, right? And
Definitely.
thank you for that wonderful take, Garvita.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. So for my next speaker, do I have any volunteers? Would anyone like to go for the next topic? Okay, let me figure it. Toastmaster Mita, would you like to take up the next topic? Okay, thank you. Toastmaster Mita is not with us. What about Toastmaster Bindu? What about you? Would you like to take up the next topic?
Rahul, there's a lot of noise. I don't know if I'm. Can you hear me? I'm traveling in a car.
Yeah, your audio is good. I can hear you. It's clear.
Okay. Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Okay, fine. Can you go a day without looking at your messages? Can you go a day without looking at your messages?
This point of time, maybe not, but I have gone n number of days without looking at messages, because for a good amount of my childhood, there was no such thing as phone. I mean, not even a phone. I'm talking about a regular phone. Forget about a mobile phone. So if you did it once, you can do it again. Now, what is the charm? Why can I say that at this point of time, I can probably not do it? Because we in India are, let us say, WhatsApp is sort of interwoven into our DNA, work DNA is what I mean. So if I have to go to work, I receive official messages on the WhatsApp group. And I'm talking about this happens even in government services. Our punching in is through the mobile. And we have to receive that message that our punch is successful to know that we are going to earn that day's salary. So yes, I can do it. It would have to be a day in which I don't go to work. I stick at home. I don't buy anything at all using the messages. I don't visit Facebook, and I don't attend a Toastmasters meet. Now, how sad would that be, Rahul? I would not be here attempting this table topic today if I had chosen today to be that day where I don't go without messages. So in short, there's nothing that we can't do. Everything will have its consequences. But unless we take that one shot of discovery or just take a chance or just experiment, we won't know. I have a feeling that if I go a day without messages, I might be pretty happy. I'll be smelling the roses and realize that I should do this at a regular interval. Back to you, Rahul.
Okay. Toastmaster Bindu, when I said any day, I didn't mean today, especially not today. I would want you to use your phone today because I would love for you to join our Toastmasters meeting all the time. But nonetheless, you gave a very good perspective on how important it is to use the technology that we have as well. So thank you. I see. Oh, Toastmaster Sunil is raising his hand. Toastmaster Sunil, are you ready for the next topic?
Yeah.
What was one fun thing you did as a kid that didn't involve technology? What was one fun thing you did as a kid that didn't involve technology?
Thug, 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 thug. Have you played a game? It's called Gulli Danda. Yeah, Prasang Mani has played. Gulli Danda requires no technology, no gadgets, just friends, gathering, enjoyment, fun. I remember one day that when I came back from school, we threw the bag aside and left the house to play the gulli danda. We got a stick, and a small part of a stick has two sharpness. What a game it was! And when sometimes I ask my children, "Do you know gulli danda? What gulli danda?" I know Google. I know Googly. A gulli danda. Sometimes they laugh at me, but I always say that why I look like young man even after I'm at the age of my 50, because I played gulli danda, I played what we say Satolia and Gulam Lakdi. There are a lot of games which required no technology. So my friends, go and choose such games which requires no technology. Then you will find that how you have good eyes, good health, good stamina. So, are you ready to play Gulli Danda? Please go. Over to you, Toastmaster. Able to bring master.
Okay. I honestly don't know what Gulli Danda is, but I also didn't know you are at almost the age of 50. So I think it's about time that I start playing the game that you told me, and I want to see the results for myself as well. Thank you for that wonderful take on the topic, Toastmaster Sunil. Next, I would like to call upon our guest, Pooja. Pooja, would you like to take over the next topic? Pooja, you're on mute.
Yeah, Rahul, please go ahead. Thank
Alright.
you.
Okay. So your topic is, what snack or treat would you make if you were bored with no phone or TV? What snack or treat would you make if you were bored with no phone or TV?
So now my question to this question is, who am I making this snack for? So is it for myself, my children, or the elderlies at home, or my friends? So I would rather call everybody because I'm getting bored. So why to get bored alone? Let's all catch up. Let's all cook together. I cook their favorite, they cook my favorite. And if I have to categorically say about snack, I kind of resonate with Sunil because I think we both come from that era. So it will be something like we would have fryams in our times. Then I would love to bake, as well as I would love them to try anything that is homemade. And yeah, of course, yeah, one thing I'm missing, that is going to be a bucket full of popcorn, because that keeps everybody bonded together over anything and everything. So yes, that would be my list of snacks. Over to you.
Okay. That was interesting take. Popcorn, chicken. It's for sure to make the day. And we can go a day without that, many days without technology. If I have that especially. So thank you for that take. Toastmaster Pooja, I'm guessing. So
I'm not yet a Toastmaster, but thank you so much.
maybe in the future, I can see the future.
Yes, thanks, Dan. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Rahul.
Yes. I think we have time for one more topic. Is that right? Okay. I think I can call upon okay. Sravan. Toastmaster
Yeah,
Sravan.
yes, Toastmaster.
Okay. The topic for you is, would you rather read a book or watch YouTube shorts? Would you rather read a book or watch YouTube shorts?
Fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests, a picture is equivalent to 1,000 words. This is the proverb. I think it's a Chinese proverb. So if I want to gather more information, I'll definitely go to the YouTube shorts to learn and understand whatever I want to with a visual presentation. It gives a very quick learning instead of reading a book. If you start reading a book, first of all, the problem is once you read one page, automatically you will get into sleep. So reading a book is nowadays it is a bit difficult to pay attention on even the letters are too small and not good at the font which you can visualize, and it is a lengthy process. Suppose if you want to see a picture, a story in a short form, easily you can understand and easily you can grab the subject, whatever story. Even in Ramayana, the entire Ramayana also you can visualize in a single shot with the kind of they built the bridge and fought, built, fought, and wrought. So in three words, you can explain entire Ramayana. Rama built the bridge, fought with Ravana, and brought the Sita back in three words. So similarly, shorts will help us to understand quickly than reading a book completely. So that's my take on this topic. Over to you. How about you, Toastmaster Rahul?
Okay, very few people actually admit they want to watch YouTube shorts when I compare it to a book. And you are one of the few who admitted that YouTube shorts are better. I mean, honestly told that it's better than compared to a book. Thank you for that honest take, Toastmaster Shravan. So with this, I think I've come to the end of my session. One thing I would just like to leave with is that we could agree that we can go a day without technology, but it's very tough for us to agree in this day and age that we cannot be without technology. Even this meeting is possible because of technology. With that, I would like to end my session. I had the pleasure of hosting this and I enjoyed thoroughly like listening to all your takes on this. With this, I would like to hand the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Prasang. Thank you.
Thanks, Table Topic Master Rahul, for conducting such a wonderful session. And with this, we'll move forward in the meeting. For now, I will give some time to our table topic evaluator to prepare the evaluation, and I would like to conduct a small activity, a fun activity. So in this activity, I'm going to kind of, I'll act out a few activities people used to do before technology took over. You guess what I'm doing, and the audience has to guess what I'm doing. So I will start the first one. I hope everybody is there. So I think my hand should be okay. So the first activity is like this. Anybody can guess?
You're writing.
Uh, Writing, correct, but this is something which you used to do when technology was not there. Writing a
Taking notes.
yeah, kind of writing a letter or taking notes, right? The next one is, it's a kind of favorite one mine. When I was kid, right, I used to do this a lot, and this was my favorite activity. So in the morning, especially.
Reading newspaper.
Yeah, right. It's a,
Newspaper.
right. It's a reading newspaper. In morning, I used to now wake up and then I used to kind of run and bring the newspaper from the market, and it was my favorite thing to do in the morning. The next is also my favorite thing, which I still do. Something like and then I think
Badminton.
Playing
yeah,
shuttle.
Badminton.
badminton. Right. I mean, badminton is something everybody does in Bangalore. I saw a reel where a person was saying that either people are walking in Bangalore or they're playing badminton. There's nothing in the middle because you see the kind of code everywhere in the Bangalore. Oh, next one is interesting. It's like
Washing
Washing
clothes.
clothes.
yeah, yeah, right. I think everybody remember it. I thought people would have forget this because I used, you know, now everybody is
No, no,
using washing
This
machine.
is muscle
we do
memory.
the same.
Right. But yeah, like it was difficult to wash the clothes back then, but now it's easy because we have the washing machine. So that's the activity, and I think now our table topic evaluator is ready. So I would like to introduce our today table topic evaluator, Toastmaster Sravan Kumar, an experienced IT professional specializing in regulatory compliance and IT system governance. He has been an active member of Toastmaster International for over 3 years, having served as club president and immediate past president of the TCS Math 3 Toastmaster Club in Pune. He plays flute and violin, currently pursuing a master in yoga with a deep interest in human and animal behavior psychology. So I would let's welcome our table topic evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prasang for a gentle introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests, I am the table topics evaluator for today. I'm going to evaluate 7 table topic speakers today. The first speaker for today is Toastmaster Orkip. Toastmaster Orkip, are you there? I think he's there. Toastmaster Orkip, can you come on camera? Toastmaster Orkip, topic was how it would be 2050, year 2050, how it would be look like for him. Toastmaster Orkip, you are so confident and your visualization was really nice. And immediately you stepped into visualized your son and how his graduation is going. And also you spoke about the technology, how it would be in 2050. That was a really nice take. But this most of the points you mentioned was missing story. The connection was missing, the bits and pieces. Maybe you can work on that to build a story quickly and good imagination and humor. And I like that. Next speaker is Toastmaster Amruta Deshmukh. She talked about tech-free day, where would you go? She started with a question that was really nice, that helped to grab the attention of audience. And she is so clear on what she wants to say. And the clarity in the message was awesome. And she also explained the benefits of the Vipassana and all. But actually, if she would have come up with a story like that, I had went to so and so place to attend the Vipassana, and that is how it was. And story building was missing. I think that is the only recommendation I would like to give. Otherwise, she has good vocabulary. Next is Toastmaster Paul. Toastmaster Paul talked about how do you feel at the end of Tech Free Day. It was very nice to hear Toastmaster Paul. Your voice modulation was so good, and it was so exciting, and it was grabbed the attention of all the audience. That was really nice, and body language was also nice. But maybe if you would connect with the story, that linking with the storytelling instead of explaining that I feel like this, I feel like that. If we connect with the story, it would be more impactful. That is my recommendation. And coming to the Toastmaster Garvita talked about if you don't have internet for 24 hours, what would you do? Toastmaster Garvita, you are confident, and the best part is you have a smile on your face continuously. But what I would like to recommend is you quickly jumped into the topic. You take a pause and think and then speak. That would add more value to your speech. And you have closed very quickly. These are all the two things I would like to recommend. It was really good. Clarity of your speech was nice. And coming to Toastmaster Bindu Joseph, she talked about can you go a day without looking at your message? She was confident, and her voice was so nice, and narration of her speech was really nice. I really liked it. But she is not present in the camera. That was missing to see the body language and other parameters. So this is the only recommendation I found in her speech. It was nicely articulated. And coming to the Toastmaster Sunil Gupta, Toastmaster Sunil Gupta asked to talk about what was the one fun thing as a kid you did that doesn't involve technology. Toastmaster Sunil, I always like your attempt. It is always humor. It's you are so confident, and you started with a question which helped you to grab the attention of everybody. So you are a good. You attend. I mean, you grab the attention of audience very quickly. That's your strength. And only recommendation is sometimes you give a long pauses. Maybe you can work on that to let the story to flow. That is the only recommendation. It was nicely narrated. And coming to guest Pooja, she asked to talk about what snack would you make would you whenever you feel bored without a phone. Then she started with a question. Though she is not a Toastmaster, she started with a question and grabbed the attention of everybody. And her voice was strong and very clear voice and strong. But only thing is, quickly ended. The story was also missing. Maybe you can cook the story. So that is one recommendation I would like to say. And you are so confident. I really like that. These are all the 7 speakers for today, except me. And this is my review, quick review. This is only my personal review. Don't take it. Maybe you can work on that in the positive things which I shared with you. And I wish you all the best for your future table topics. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Prasang.
Yeah, thank you, table topic evaluator, Toastmasters Sravan, for adding a good feedback for all these table topic speakers. Since we are running out of time, I would like to wind up the theme. So today we explore the world without technology, a world where we slow down. look around and actually talk to each other. Maybe we can't give up our gadgets forever, but perhaps once in a while we can put them aside and enjoy the moment. I hope this meeting helped you recharge not your phone but yourself. Thank you all for being such a fun and engaging audience. Back to our presiding officer, Jaspreet.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Prasang Mani. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Prasang for bringing up the theme so very wonderfully. Within a Zoom meeting where we are using technology, he tried to drive home the point. A day without technology is so important. So this is a great job done and wonderful, wonderful Toastmaster Prasang. I can see you growing and evolving as a Toastmaster. So kudos to you for that. And now the guests that are still there, I would like to call them up to give their feedback of the meeting. First of all, Paul O. Mohanty. Paul O. Mahoney. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, Paul. Is that your name?
That is a good pronunciation. That is fine. That is fine.
Thank you so much. Are you a Toastmaster, Paul?
I've been a Toastmaster since 2015.
Oh, great. 10 years old. So you're from Ireland. I saw that written in your name. All right.
That's right.
Do tell us, give us a feedback since you are such a seasoned Toastmaster. Give us a feedback about the meeting, whatever part of the meeting you attended.
Well, first of all, I want to thank the table topics director for having given me a topic so that it meant that I felt involved in the meeting actively and was able to practice communicating with you all. That was a very good experience. I'm full of admiration for the way in which you have run the part of the meeting that I was at. Seemed very well run. And the part that I found most unusual, I suppose, were the number of screens that were off during the meeting. This is something I wasn't used to, so I imagine it's part of the culture in your club or in part of the world. Truthfully, I don't know where I am. I haven't had time to find out, and I found the club via a WhatsApp group which said there will be a meeting in a few minutes, and that's why I came. But overall, I'm ever so pleased to meet you, and thank you very much for welcoming me to your club.
Thank you so much for that, Paul. Thank you really very much for that. And now let's have somebody. Okay, Pooja, you've been there since the beginning till the end. Do share your 2 cents about the meeting.
So I would like to definitely begin with gratitude. Thank you so much, one, for having us over and making these 2 hours worth every second that we spent here. I had a gala time. May it be the activities done by Prasang, may it be the way Rahul moderated the whole session for giving us opportunity to speak, and of course, listening to other people and their thought process, their vision. It's always a learning process. So as Rupinder very categorically said that there's a lot of unlearning and learning that happens. So my learning has happened for today, and I have a lot of takeaways with me. So thank you so much once again. And I would still try to recall, when do we have the Gabbys Day? Is it today itself?
No, that's 14th June.
Perfect. So all my best wishes to that. I am a very obedient student, so I changed my background as well. But all the best to you all, and thank you once again. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much, Pooja, for being there till the end and giving such a wonderful feedback. who says you're not a Toastmaster? The way you have evaluated the entire meeting is the way a Toastmaster would do. So thank you for being there. And I would request you to be a part of the Gabbys group if you've joined it already, else I can get the link reshared. Yogita, can we share the link in the chat right now? So you can be there and you can get all the updates. The Gabbys Day is on 14th June. It's in a hybrid mode and it will start at 10 a.m. in the morning. Now, before we move on to the results, something which we do at the Gabbys, which Paul also reiterated, and it was also spoken by our educational speaker. So we have this habit of bringing up the woes and the vows of the meeting towards the end of the meeting. Everything went very well. But then what can make it better is what we do. We try to analyze our own meeting. So the woes about the meeting were, as Paul said, and the guest speaker Rupinder also said, that the cameras were off. It is a big put off for the speaker. So we've been telling this time and again. We understand that this is the maybe requirement. The person is engaged somewhere else, busy somewhere else, traveling, but some way, some emoji to be shared or getting connected so that the speaker feels that yes, the audience is there with me. So that is again urging everybody to be on camera. Little bit going here and there off camera is fine, but then we need to make our presence felt, that we are here, we are much more than the black tile that is visible. So that is still needed to be done by many of us. And another thing which is in general, I'll be saying, I'm not going to tell like who was there of this kind. When we are there in a meeting, we are speaking, we need to see that our background noise is not there. Because, meeting being recorded, people joining in from all across the country and maybe many parts of the world. So let's be very watchful about that. That is again a very, very important thing. Now, moving on to the vows part of it. First of all, the educational session, it was a wow, great wow. She brought in mythology, she brought in everything. Beautiful meeting, beautiful analogies, beautiful thought process brought in. So kudos to Dr. Major Rupinder. In absentia, I would extend a gratitude on behalf of all of us to her personally as well. And the best part was that she stayed back even after the session was over. She was there almost till the end of the meeting. So that's, again, that is humility, that the speaker is there even after the session is done. That makes the other role takers feel really very confident of themselves. So that was again something really very well done. And one special mention, the TTE Sravan. Something for you, Sravan, a wow factor. When you started, I thought, today we are going to go off time because already the stage was given to you a bit late, but you stopped on dot. You were following the red card being shown. So at that crucial time, that was really big, very important, because the TT tends to go overboard with time because less time is there. But then kudos to you for doing that. And also kudos to all the role takers who were there, taking up their role, doing justice to the role, and making such a meeting possible. Thank you very much, everybody. And now the results. The favorite role player. I don't know. I don't think there are any guesses over there. There's nothing very shocker over there. The favorite role taker is the man who made us go through a day without technology. That means Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Prasang. A big round of applause to you, Toastmaster Prasang. Keep on doing this good work. You are evolving as a wonderful Toastmaster day by day. Now, the table topic speakers. All right. So there is a tie over here. So our guest Paul is one of the winners. And the way, I love your expression, Paul, the way it came up. So Paul, and along with him is our very own Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. So congratulations to both of you, Paul and Sunil. Enjoy this victory. Paul, you will be given a certificate for this. So I don't know, we are not connected anywhere. If you could join the guest group, we can share the certificate there. We give a certificate to all the winners, so we'll be sharing it. If you join the guest group, the link is there in it. So you join, we'll be sharing it over there. And with this, we come to the end of today's meeting. So again, reminding everybody, Gabby's Day is about to come. It is on 14th June, Saturday, 10 a.m. Be there with us to enjoy all the fun, all the festivities, the activities, whatever drama or fun is happening, be there. And now our next meeting will happen on Saturday at 10 a.m. IST. So be there, remain connected so that this hype keeps getting up, the excitement keeps getting built up. So with this, I adjourn today's meeting in the hope of meeting you guys once again. Thank you very much. Have a great day, great evening, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Paul, just please remain. We'll share the link once again. Just be there. We
Thank
can
you.
end the recording. We can end the recording.